Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Ian Cassette.
And I'm student meteorologist Paxton Fell. Well, this morning, we had very unfortunate news that struck us very close to campus today.
Yeah, as you may or may not have known already, there was a shooting at Strozier that occurred around 12:30 a.m. It was an alumnus that had fired upon the unsuspecting victims, staff, and students in the lobby of Strozier. And 3 students and employees were injured in this situation.
Yes, and 2 of those students were actually transported to the hospital. One's in stable condition, the other is in critical condition, but the third was treated on the scene. They were just treated for a grazing from the gunshot.
The FSU PD responded very quickly. The FSU alert was sent out, and within 45 seconds they got to the library and were able to handle the situation and take down the shooter. He was pronounced dead on the spot. According to FSU PD, it was an isolated event, and there should be no further threat to our campus with association to this event.
And Strozier is expected to open at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and classes and all FSU normal activities will be continuing tomorrow as normal. But on a lighter note, we're just going to hand this on over to John with more about this show.
Thank you all. We started off very chilly this morning across all of the Big Bend. Actually, a couple of record low temperatures were broken this morning, 23 degrees here in Tallahassee. The old record used to be 26 degrees. Apalachicola also broke a record by a few degrees. That record was actually set in the 1930s, so it was pretty cold this morning, and it's starting to warm up finally tonight. We're heading for a couple of degrees warmer than last night, about 10 degrees warmer than last night during the overnight hours. 35 degrees is the forecast low with clear conditions and calm conditions as well. And clouds are going to start to form during the next couple of days and come into our direction. And this is a look at the next storm system. Here's the clock at Saturday evening. This is towards the end of the game. We're talking cloudy conditions across the Big Bend, but I think all of the raindrops that will be falling down into the Gulf of Mexico. But as we head into the later part of the weekend, we're going to be talking more rainfall and maybe 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, and we'll be able to look at that tonight in much better definition because tonight is the first night in high definition. And to talk about that, Paxton and Ian, here you are.
Thank you, John. Hey, you were talking about those lows. It was a very cold night indeed. In fact, it was a record-setting low that we had here in Tallahassee.
It sure was. The last time we got extremely low this time of year was in 1968, and we had a record of 26 back then, and we beat that today by having a record low of 23 degrees.
Yeah, a chilling 23 degrees, and this is the second night in a row that we had below freezing temperatures. And even more so for Apalachicola, they also had a record low, even more substantial. Their record was set back in 1937 of 34 degrees. They reached a low of 30. So they've set a record that was many, many years old.
It's sad, though, because I put a cup of water outside hoping it would freeze. It didn't. It remained liquid, and I was really upset with that. I wanted a little ice cube. But I want to actually take this out to the wall, and we're going to look at this local weather we're having. It's been quite nice lately, dry, kind of cool, so you might need your jackets. You still might need those tonight going into tomorrow. But right now it is 57 degrees, partly cloudy, and that dew point is still low at 35. But that humidity is starting to creep back up and will be continuing to increase as we go on into the weekend. And as our rain chances, they will be continuing to rise, especially going into Sunday. Currently 57 in Tallahassee. We are having those upper 50 temperatures again, which is great for us. We're warming up. I like the warmth. I don't like this cold weather. I want it to go away as fast as it could, and that's going to be happening this weekend. And for the game, we're going to be having those 70-degree temperatures again. In the last 24 hours, our high has increased by 11 degrees, which is great. Yesterday, we were in the 40s, and we're now in the 50s today. We're going to be in the 60s tomorrow and 70s going into Sunday. And as we look at futurecast, we have this high pressure system just centered over our region, and as you look north, we have this high pressure system going up towards the Great Lake region, bringing in those westerly winds and bringing in more lake effect snow for the New England area once more. But we have this nice little cold front just north of us, and that will be pushing on down into our region, going into later this weekend and into Sunday, into Monday, bringing in those chances for showers as well. For tonight, it's going to be 35 degrees. So if you have plans, make sure you bundle up. Bring your jackets, bring your sweaters, and all of that with you for tonight because it's still going to be slightly cool out there. And make sure, again, take your jacket and have those scarves and boots as well. For tomorrow, it's going to have a high of 69. We're almost in those 70s again. It's going to be nice and sunny. And those winds, they are picking up a little bit. Nothing too much. It's just going to be a great day overall to be out there. For boating, it's not going to be the best day to go on the water tomorrow. Those winds are going to be 15, 20 knots, and the waves are going to be a little high as well. But it is going to be sunny, which is great for all of us. And then for that 7-day forecast, you can see this warming trend. It is continuing going on to the week. And then Tuesday, once that front passes, we're at 67, and then those lows dip back down into 41 degrees. And then Saturday, you can see this 20% chance of showers. But that's just going to be pretty much hopefully after the game. So we don't really have to worry about those rain chances going into the football game, which will be a 3:30 kickoff. But Sunday, we do have that 90% chance of rain. So those showers will be picking up. It's going to be a quite gloomy day outside as well. And then the rain chances will continue to go out till about Tuesday, and then it'll be nice and sunny as we go on into the remainder of the week. But right now, we're going to hand this on over to Allie for more on the Southeast.
Thank you, Paxton. Yes, we are just going to zoom out a little bit and take a look at the southeast region. Here in Tallahassee, we're sitting at 66 for our high temperature today. So it was fairly nice as that sun came out. We did make it all the way up there to 66. Montgomery also at 66. New Orleans slightly warmer over there at 69. And even if you look in South Florida, they're only in the mid 70s down there. So we are still feeling that cold weather coming from that cold front that just passed us. However, right now in Tallahassee, we're at 57 degrees, 59 up there in Montgomery, and 63 in New Orleans. So the sun is starting to set, bringing our temperatures down just a little bit, but it's still going to be a fairly pleasant night, just a little bit cool. For our satellite and radar, we're looking pretty clear here in Tallahassee. Not too many clouds to speak of. However, that high pressure did bring a little bit of southerly flow, so we did see a couple more clouds than we did yesterday. But other than that, not too much to worry about for the southeast. We had pretty nice weather. But as that cold front did pass, we started to feel those cool temperatures as well as that drier air. So you can see not much going on here in our region and not much for around the southeast. Pretty dry air making us feel nice and comfortable these last couple of days. But as we move into the future, we will, never mind, we will not look at that future cast. However, on Sunday, that is our next chance for rain. So if you do have any plans for Sunday, here we go. We'll take a look at that again. We'll set that into motion, seeing tomorrow. Still not too much going on in our atmosphere. Nice, clear day. However, as we move into Sunday, that is when our next chance for rain is coming. So that could be some severe storms. So keep with us on that, and we'll keep you updated to everything going on Sunday. But for tonight, still going to be nice and cool. 35 degrees here in Tallahassee, 36 up in Atlanta, 36 in Montgomery, and 40 in Tupelo. So we are still feeling those cool conditions from that cold front. So if you are going out tonight, be sure to bundle up. And for tomorrow, slightly warmer than today. We're saying 69 here in Tallahassee, 75 in Orlando, 62 in Savannah. So it is going to be just a little bit warmer than today, and then that warming trend will continue into the weekend, which is music to most of our ears. I know we are all planning on going out to that football game. So we are going to see lots of sunshine here in Tallahassee. It's going to be beautiful in the 70s. So we're going to have a nice weekend until Sunday. That's when the rain's going to start to come. But don't worry about that for now. Just enjoy that weekend. But for now, we're just going to send it on back to the desk.
Thank you, Allie. Well, like she was saying, we don't have to experience any snow down here in Florida, unlike Buffalo.
No, Buffalo has experienced, or rather Upper New York has experienced a good amount of snow over the last 4 or 5 days due to lake effect snow that has been really persistent on top of them.
Yeah, it's been going on up there since Monday, and it's likely going to be continuing into tomorrow night, but hopefully there's an end in sight for them soon.
Yeah, they currently have 6 feet of snow on the ground right now, and these dangerous conditions unfortunately will persist as it transitions to freezing rain over the weekend. And when you have that, the roads are very dangerous, and they've already had unfortunately 7 deaths caused by people shoveling snow, which is something you don't really think about, but
no, you don't.
Hard labor.
Yes, and it's important to maybe have that rock salt available so you could just throw that on your driveway, throw it on the roads. You don't have to worry about all that ice and snow everywhere. but at least we don't have to worry about that down here.
No, we don't have to worry about that type of snow here, but unfortunately for them there, they have had to deal with a good amount of snow. But back home, we're going to have a nice warm-up for us. The rest of the nation is dealing with cold temperatures due to that Arctic blast and that cold front that's just been lingering around, that low that's been lingering in the northeast. You can see here, all of this blue is straight lake effect snow that they have gotten. For us here, we have that lingering kind of cold front pushing out off of Florida, and we have a nice cool front that's forming behind that. But for the most part, the big story here has been this lake effect snow that has been affecting the northeast, especially upper New York. They have been, this deep blue that you see here is a heavy snowfall that they have received over the last 4 or 5 days, and that is bringing dangerous conditions for them. So that's been unfortunate for them. You can see as I zoom in here, Buffalo has gotten the brunt of it, just south of Buffalo. That just consistent snowfall. Very dangerous conditions for them there, but relief is in sight as a warm-up will be continuing into the weekend. Back towards the west, they have some snowfall and some associated with a low that may actually be making an impact on us here. It will be pushing off towards the east and moving towards the towards the southeast, but in the higher elevations, they are getting some form of snowfall. California is getting much needed precipitation as they are getting, the low is moving onshore, bringing rainfall for areas in eastern California. So they have been experiencing a drought, but fortunately for them, they are getting much needed rainfall there. As you zoom on out, you can see the rest of the country. It's rather dry for most of the country, especially in the southeast, as we are having those dry, cool conditions persist. But we may be seeing a bit of change coming up soon. Futurecast temperatures shows rather cool conditions again. We can see those northeast temperatures are cold. Detroit 23 degrees, Boston 35, Minneapolis a very frigid 14 degrees. And you have that wind factored in there, it is even colder. But as we move on through, those temperatures start to dip overnight, and that will continue on into Friday morning. You can see lows in the 20s in much areas in the north. And as it goes on to Friday afternoon, temperatures are a little bit more mild, in the 50s for the southeast, but those temperatures start to cool off later on to the night, and we will see a cool front affecting temperatures into the weekend. Watches and warnings show that we have those lake effect advisories up in New York. You can see lake effect snow warnings for them there, so good amount of snowfall for them. Airport delays are clear for most major airports in the country, so generally pretty good for flight conditions if you're traveling for Thanksgiving. Tonight's forecast shows 35 degrees in Tallahassee. You have 36 in Atlanta. Very cold temperature, 70 degrees in Minneapolis, but rather mild temperatures for much of the area in the south. But as we look on into tomorrow's forecast, temperatures are looking a lot better. 70s for much areas in the south, 69 in Tallahassee. Welcoming conditions for these cold temperatures that we have received. So fortunately, that will be changing as we move on into the weekend. As we are going to send it off to Casey with more.
Thanks, Ian. Let's go ahead and take a look closer to home, and as we do so, we'll see the weather situation here across our Big Bend region and southwest Georgia. Kind of doing that, we see current conditions-wise, 57 degrees here in the metro area. Now, we were a lot warmer, or a lot cooler, I should say, this morning than that. We got down to 23 degrees. But as we go ahead and kind of take a look at the radar and satellite picture together, we see not too much in the way of clouds, a few high clouds, more to our south though, especially down toward Carabel and Apalachicola as well, but not too big of a concern in toward those communities. 57 degrees right now here in the metro area, cooling off some now, but much cooler toward our west. We're talking about 52 in Wilma already here at this 6 o'clock hour. 52 as well in St. Mark's. Current dew point just kind of tells a story about how dry it is here across the tri-state area, sitting at 35 right now in Tallahassee. Very low values here, but they are higher than we've been seeing. Starting to moisten back up with a southerly flow here, and that's increasing our temperatures as well here across our viewing circle. Now, Futurecast is so high pressure is in control. So nice weather conditions here across the viewing circle, southwest Georgia, north Florida as well. But as we get into your Friday, we see a cool front. We'll watch that for an increase in some cloud cover here across our region. But our main watch is for Saturday. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the football game against Boston College. That starts at 3:30. Pretty warm conditions, in fact, 70s expected. Probably one of our warmest games of the year here at FSU at Campbell Stadium. But of course, that's a couple days away. We'll keep an eye on that. But later on to Saturday and into toward your Sunday, we're going to be watching for maybe an isolated strong storm risk. We're still fine-tuning the details on that, though. So stay tuned to the Friday so there'll be more information there. Now, kind of looking at tonight's forecast, we see 35 degrees here in the metro area. They're a little bit warmer than we've been seeing the last few nights. We set a record this morning at 23 degrees, but those temperatures on a gradual warming trend over the next few days. 33 up toward Quincy tonight. Warmer, though, at the coast. 45 down toward Apalachicola in southwestern Franklin County. Now, tomorrow's forecast, 69 degrees. A really nice day here across the viewing circle we see here in the metro area. 67 up toward Quincy, 68 in Bainbridge. And that 7-day forecast we do see, it tells the story here. 69 on Friday. As we get into the weekend, though, an increase in moisture, increase in shower and thunderstorm activity, and again, keeping an eye on isolated strong storm risk, but we're going to be clearing out and cooling down again as we head in toward the Thanksgiving period. But right now, we'll take it back over to the net desk with Jay and Allie.
Thank you, Casey. You know, all this winter's talk, you want to see some more cold weather or some warm weather?
Well, I mean, I could go for some warm weather.
Well, I got good news for you. We're going to be warming up over the weekend, over into Wednesday and Thursday. So that's going to be very nice weather.
That is great news, especially like going into a break from school. Like, I would love to see that warm weather.
Oh, yes, especially Thanksgiving break, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no school means a lot of fun. But after Thursday, we are starting to see more of a cold front come back up into the Tallahassee region.
That is true, and we do have a game that weekend, so it is going to be another chilly game.
Yep, like always. But again, we're used to the cold, so at this point, it's like, well, just go and play.
That's true, and the next cold front coming through is not going to be as strong, so we are going to drop in temperatures, but it won't be as drastic as this week.
No, especially since we see temperatures probably in the 50s and 30s when that cold front do start making its way over to Tallahassee and the rest of Florida.
That's true, but for now, we are going to send it back out to the wall.
With John.
Hello, everyone. If you are watching right now on local cable or on the Big Bend, you probably are not seeing us, but please listen in. If you have the ability to check live stream, we are broadcasting video on live stream, so if you want to watch us, please tune in on livestream.com/FSU Weather. Otherwise, you can listen to us on local cable. But for now, we're going to talk about these morning temperatures. 23 degrees was our record low this morning here in Tallahassee. Cooler down towards the south as well, 40s along I-4, but down towards the south, they had quite a bit of cloud cover in South Florida. Temperatures there in the 60s overnight, still in the 70s right now. 74 degrees in West Palm Beach and Miami, 57 here in Tallahassee, 46 in Jacksonville, with temperatures in the 60s around the I-4 corridor. And that's going to continue to increase as these clouds are going to be sticking around, if not heading up towards the north a little bit, and encroaching on I-10 near Jacksonville. And that's going to keep temperatures up during the overnight hours tonight. And high pressure is in control at keeping the rain well to the south. Rainfall not impacting the Keys, but there is a little bit of rainfall down closer to the Cuban coast around the Florida Straits. This is going to slowly spread out towards the north with a couple of rain chances down along the 7 Mile Bridge out towards Key West, with cloud cover being the main story across most of Florida. Here's what we're looking at for the next couple of days. This is actually the dew point map. So everything here in these darker browns is lower dew points. This is very dry air for right now, but there's much more moist air out in the Atlantic as well as out in the Gulf of Mexico, and this is going to head off towards the north as high pressure will be bringing these winds in from the south and in from the Atlantic. That's going to drive our dew points up during the next couple of days. So warmer conditions is also going to come in as well, and the Gulf is really going to open up over the next few days, and that's where we're going to have the rain chance as high pressure remains in control almost all the way through Saturday evening. That's what's going to keep us dry during the game on Saturday. Warmer conditions, but moisture is going to be increasing, so you'll see those clouds increasing from I-10 down towards the south and off towards the west as well. There's a storm system off towards our west that's going to bring in a slight severe weather risk and some thunderstorms as we head into Saturday afternoon, mainly towards our west, and then Sunday morning here in the Big Bend as this moisture increases. But for the game on Saturday, we're talking a kickoff temperature of 70 degrees, one of the warmer games we've had in quite a while here at Campbell Stadium. Winds out of the east with mostly cloudy skies. Possibly a shower as we head into the end of the game, but really not a huge factor other than maybe the east winds. But Aguayo shouldn't have a problem with those winds down there at Campbell Stadium. And then we're talking for tonight's forecast, 35 degrees. No more freezes here in Tallahassee, but points off towards the east over the Swanee River Valley could be flirting with 32 degrees and some late frost. And that's the reason that there is a frost advisory in effect for much of the Swanee River Valley, including also in the northeast Florida area in Jacksonville. And tomorrow we're looking like this. Temperatures 69 degrees in Tallahassee, warmer down towards the south with temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, 69 degrees in Pensacola, 79 degrees in Miami. And now we have a look at the tropics. Shane?
Well, we've really got to look at the lack of tropical activity right now. Let's take a look at the whole Atlantic, and it's going to be all we need because there's a whole lot of nothing out here. We've got a bit of a tropical wave, the remnants of that cold front from earlier this week moving past Bermuda off to the east in the open waters of the Atlantic, and it's going to be affecting no one. The Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico both remain predominantly cloudless, so rather than look at what is not out here in the Gulf, let's reflect on what we have had. We've got about 10 more days of hurricane season left officially, so it's not completely out of the question for us to get that ice storm in. But let's look at what we have had. We had hurricanes Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, and we had tropical storms Dolly and Hannah. And none of those caused any significant damage. We paid close attention to Gonzalo as it became the second major hurricane of the season and strongest hurricane that we've seen since many years ago, 3 years ago, I do believe. So that's a lot of nothing going on right now. Let's take a look at what we've got here in the tri-state section. 57 degrees right now in Tallahassee, and quite cooler off to our north. Valdosta has already dipped down to 50, going to be flirting with the 40s like they are over there in Gainesville right now, and Jacksonville as well. Meanwhile, Montgomery is coming in at 59 degrees and 60 over there in Meridian, Mississippi. So let's take a look at the satellite and radar. What's responsible for all these cool temperatures? Lots of clear skies. In fact, those warmer temperatures in Montgomery and Meridian are the result of the fact that they've still had a little bit more sunlight than we have. Since they're further to the west, the sun sets later. So they're clinging on to the warmth, as we might call it, just a little longer than we are. We're already plummeting in terms of temperature. Clear skies overall, and that's going to allow us this night to get to particularly cool temperatures. Now let's take a look at the rain that's going to head our way. Fortunately, we've still got about 48 hours until the first drop falls, which is good news because we're going to have another gorgeous day tomorrow that we can all look forward to. Head out on land to screen, read a book, get home early for your vacation if you have the opportunity to do that. Great traveling weather for the most part as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday. And then the question on everyone's mind, is it going to rain during the game? Well, with the winds coming out of the south, we've got the high chance that the moisture is going to descend into our region pretty quickly on Saturday. But no, we don't expect rain to fall, except maybe during the last bit of the fourth quarter, once our score has climbed significantly above that of the Boston College Eagles, we expect. Anyway, tonight here in Tallahassee, we've got 35 degrees as our forecast low, 33 in Valdosta, 36 in Montgomery, and 46 in Pensacola. As for tomorrow, that gorgeous day to look forward to, 69 degrees in Tallahassee, climbing only to 59 in Atlanta, and only 54 degrees in Little Rock, Arkansas. And now it's time to herald the Throwback Thursday at the desk for weather history.
Oh, you know that Throwback Thursday is always a fun one for us. And this throwback is going to be thrown back to weather history.
It is. We are going to throw it back all the way to 1985.
Yeah, in Chicago, Illinois, they, for November precipitation, on this day, they got a record of 7.65 inches of rain.
Yes, that's a lot of rain in one day.
I know. The old record was 6.95 inches set back in 1982. So, again, a lot of rain on this day in history.
That is right. And there was another record set in 1989, and that was in Pennsylvania.
Yes, State College. They saw a severe thunderstorm with an unofficial wind of 80 miles per hour. Not a hurricane, not a tropical storm, just a regular severe weather system that came in through the area.
Right, and then that brought snow with it, so it was a very big day for them.
Yeah, and then in 1986, Rapid City, South Dakota.
Right, this is the weirdest one, I think. It was 21 degrees. However, 5,000 feet up, it was 50 degrees.
Whew. I'm tired of talking about cold weather. Let's take it back over to Connor with a little more of a sunnier look around Tallahassee.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of the cold, but that is exactly what has been here in Tallahassee lately. Look at these overnight lows from last night, 23 degrees, 9 degrees below freezing. So we were chilly across the panhandle, though. Looks like the warmest temperature there in Bainbridge at freezing mark of 32 degrees. But right now, luckily, we warmed up really well. We are up to the 57-degree mark currently right now, but that humidity is still low. 44%, not feeling too bad out there, not as cool as yesterday, but we are expected to approach that freezing mark once again as we do push into the later night hours. Now, currently, like I mentioned, we are in the mid to upper 50s here in Tallahassee. A little cooler as you do move to your northwest, and as across the panhandle of Florida, we are looking at those 50-degree temperatures, but as I mentioned, they should be going down as that sun sets and we do approach the freezing mark towards the later evening hours. Now, satellite radar, we can see just pretty clear skies, which is going to aid in our cooling tonight, but some clouds from the southerly flow of the high pressure helping to bring in some moisture from the Gulf, which will keep us a little bit warmer than we were yesterday, but still going to reach mid to lower 30s as we do push into the later evening hours. Now, our futurecast, we can see this high pressure that I just spoke of bringing in a little bit more of a southerly flow will be pushing to our east, and then this cold front will eventually pushing its way down as we do approach the Saturday evening and into Sunday morning. And that will give us our next chance for some showers and some thunderstorms. But once that pushes through, looking at Saturday game day, not looking bad at all. Expecting some showers later in the evening, but for game day and for the game, the football game, looking nice. Maybe a slight chance of a sprinkle as we do approach the later end of the game, but it does look like a great evening to watch Florida State hopefully beat Boston College. Now tonight, as I have mentioned, we are going to get chilly again, 35, our official low. Mostly clear, so if you are going out, take that jacket. It might be nice to have a little bit of warmth on you as you do head out, if you do have plans to attend to go out to eat, or if you go outside or do anything outside this evening. And then Friday, we are looking at another cooler day, not as cool as we were. We're on a little bit of a warming trend. 61 is going to be around a noontime temperature and then slowly cooling off as we do approach the later evening hours. So it's going to be another cooler day, but it's going to be much warmer than it was just 2 days ago when we were looking at those 30-degree temperatures. And so across the board, we are, as I mentioned, a cold front will be pushing in again. Our rain chances do increase Saturday into Sunday, but those showers that do form on Saturday should be wait until after the football game, so we should be pretty dry then. But then we're going to have to watch Sunday, though. Sunday could be an interesting day, some rainfall, even some possibility of severe thunderstorms. Tune back in and get updates on that. But look at those temperatures, looking nice, not too bad. Upper 70s to lower mid 60s, and then approaching Thursday towards Thanksgiving, we're looking like another cool down, and I don't know how I feel about that. Allie, how are you feeling about that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm ready for some warm weather.
I think I'm ready for some warm weather too, and it's only November.
That's true, but the good news is that it is going to warm up for our football game on Saturday.
Beautiful weather.
Yes, I'm super excited. It's going to be a great day to get outside and go support our Seminoles.
Hopefully 27 and up, I believe is the record.
I think that sounds good.
I think that sounds great.
Yeah, so the game is at 3:30. Everyone hope to see you at Doak Campbell.
It's going to be a great day, and then a week from now is Thanksgiving.
Of course, it is Thanksgiving, and look at that Thanksgiving forecast. It's a little bit chilly.
A little chilly. Looks like those 30 temperatures are approaching our area once again.
So hopefully everyone will stay inside and eat some warm turkey and maybe some warm vegetables.
Vegetables. It seems to be a reoccurring theme on this show. And yes, I am definitely going to be enjoying maybe some green beans or something.
Maybe. You can. No vegetables for me.
No. Well, you can always like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And of course, watch us anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a great night, everybody.
Yes, and Seminole Pride nationwide. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a fantastic evening.